NYPA, it's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter spinners weather to a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave them shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I fly too deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Horton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue card for direction, just team on their grind time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, and murder it for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. It's your boy KG, broadcasting from the NYPA studios. Thank you for joining me today for this week's episode as we do the final countdown for the final show of NYPA Entertainment Radio. Remember, starting in 2026, new podcast, Who is Kyle Graham, will be premiering right here on Riverside.fm, which is the main platform. And then, of course, YouTube, Spotify, and other platforms will be added once the show is up and running. While you are watching YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, get the notifications for the final shows of NYPA Entertainment Radio. And for Spotify, also, you hit audio or watch the video version of each episode. If you're driving, working out, whatever, you can't watch it, you can still listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So, get the algorithms up, let everybody know about NYP Entertainment Radio, which leads into Who is Kyle Graham in 2026. Then time is flying by real fast. Hasn't sunk in yet, but we'll take it show by show, week by week. So we'll just do that. So without further ado, let's get started. This week, premiere, I talked about it last week, the premiere Being Eddie documentary on Netflix. And I said last week I would give you my opinion of the documentary. I watched the documentary, and I have to say it was really good. I loved it. It was dope, man. I really do. I recommend watching it if you're a huge Eddie Murphy fan like I am. Watching Eddie Murphy since I was a little kid, not understanding the sketches, so to speak, when I was young, and being able to stay up late on Saturday because the next day was Sunday, so you get to stay up late. The kid Friday and Saturday nights, you stay up late. It's a weekend, and then some Sundays, if you got a holiday off on a Monday, you stay late on Sundays. So at the time when I'm growing up, there's no cable, internet, or streaming. I'm showing my age, and you only had like 3 networks, and only real entertaining major networks outside of your local networks that were showing something that's worth entertaining was Saturday Night Live, and then to see this young cat on there, African American, who's just like killing it. You're not understanding it right there, but it's funny. The facial expressions, you're kind of getting it. And then I got older looking back on, oh man, I was really ahead of his time and so forth. And you hear people talk about the jokes on Monday and whatever, and you hear, and I didn't know I couldn't match the name with the face or whatever. But I just been a Murphy fan like ever since after like everyone else, like Saturday Night Live. So the only thing I have the only down thing I have to say about documentary is too short. It's so good that it's too short. It's not long enough. Like with this genius, this thing should be at least like 2 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, like an hour and some change. It's so much to cover. And it's like, I feel shortchanged because I'm like, it's a lot to uncover. There's a lot of stuff I want to get into. Because you rarely have Murphy do a peek behind the curtains on his career and his life. So that's the only thing I felt shortchanged. Like, man, that shit flew by. On bullshit, it takes a long time. You're like, this is 2 hours. It literally tells you. When I saw an hour and some change, I'm like, this is not going to be enough. And it flew by with so much stuff. So a lot of meat left on the bone that I wanted to cover and discuss and so forth. And not to make it any secrets, man. That's one cat that I would love not just to have on the show, but to befriend and just hear stories. Like I'll probably get on his nerves asking questions and just have him stay up all night telling me different stories, behind the scenes stuff, his experiences, the different celebrities. Because anyone who knows me, I'm a sucker for a good storyteller. Whether celebrity or civilian alike, you be a good storyteller. I'm a sucker, dude. I'm listening. I'm not interrupting. I'm gonna have questions afterwards or in between if you do a pause for a reaction. But I could just like imagine the stories that it probably just endless, and he'll probably just like get out my face, motherfucker. Like, cause I'm like, what happened with this? Tell me how you came up with this, and what happened with this, and this. Or tell me a story about the. Well, you might just whatever, blah 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 blah. I would probably annoy him, with the different stories. But like I said, check it out if you haven't. I'm not gonna give anything really away, too much stories in case you didn't watch some stuff you may not have known. But one of the things interesting that came up, I think it came up in a documentary, and I came across this article, is that Eddie Murphy called out the Oscars live on stage in 1988 for not awarding black actors. Says Robin Williams warned him it might not be funny. Why go there? Eddie Murphy recently joined Entertainment Weekly to promote his Netflix documentary Being Eddie, and look back to when he presented Best Picture to Bernardo Bertolucci's The Last Emperor. Murphy deliberately used his time at the Oscar podium to call out the Academy for failing to recognize black actors over the years. He thought the bit would generate headlines in Hollywood press, but Murphy says in the doc that he was surprised to discover there were barely any the next day. Quote, I remember being with Robin Williams backstage. Murphy recalled about the Oscars night. I was like, I'm going to say this, and he goes to me like, but why go there? I was like, oh, you don't think it's funny? It was more, is it funny? Rather than it's controversial. I was trying to be funny and say a little something, but be funny too. Have a little edge to what I said. In his introduction to announcing the Best Picture nominees, Murphy recounted how his manager told him the Academy was inviting him to present at the Oscars and that he originally wanted to decline. Quote, I'm not going because they haven't recognized black people in motion pictures, Murphy told the Oscar audience. And I'll probably never win an Oscar for saying this, but hey, what the hey? I gotta say it. Actually, I might not be in any trouble because the way it's been going is about every 20 years we get one. So we ain't due to about 2004. So at the time this will be blown over. I guess it's 1988. At the time, only 3 acting winners in the Oscars' 60-year history were black performers Haley McDaniels, Sidney Poitier, and Lou Gossett Jr. Denzel Washington would join the group 2 years later by winning Best Supporting Actor for Glory. So, quote, so I came down here to give the award, and I said, but I just feel that we have to recognize as a people, I just want you to know I'm going to give this award, but black people will not ride the caboose of society and will not bring up the rear anymore. And I want you to recognize us, Murphy's speech concluded. Murphy continued that he said in an interview that he wasn't thinking of the ramifications of calling out the Oscars lack of diversity among its winner, among its winner when he gave the speech, adding, I was trying to be funny in the moment, and I wanted what I was saying to be relevant. The comedian was right about one thing, though he has yet to win an Oscar despite being a frontrunner for the Best Supporting Actor prize in 2007 for Dreamgirls. Alan Arkin ended up winning in a surprise victory for Little Miss Sunshine after Murphy took home prizes from the Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Awards. Some have speculated that Norbit Murphy's disastrous review comedy that opened just a week after he received the Oscar nomination. Murphy has defended Norbit in various interviews of the years. Quote, I love Norbit, Murphy said earlier this year on on Complex 360 with Speedy Mormon series. I don't know what the fuck that is. Norbit came out right after I got the Oscar nomination. There were articles like, how can he get an Oscar? He did this. There are two different movies I wrote. Norbit with my brother Charlie Murphy, and we think Norbit is funny. Here's the thing with Norbit. I came out, they gave me a Razzie Award for Worst Actress, Worst Actor, Worst Actor in the Decade, and I was like, come on now, shit ain't that bad. It's a lot to unpack in this joint. Let's back up for a little bit. When Murphy made this said what he said in 1988. Remember, there's no social media. There's no like Instagram, Facebook, and none of that stuff. And the media can easily gloss over it and just ignore it. If he said that now in 2025, as soon as he said it, boom, it's everywhere within a millisecond. It'll hit everybody's social media page fast. But back in the 80s, you didn't have that. So the writers had the right to block it out and not acknowledge it and like, oh, forget what he said, it's not important. Can't do that nowadays. And that's one of the best things about social media is that if you got something poignant and relevant to say, it'll get out there quicker than a cat can lick. It's right out there. Back in the 80s when there was no such thing, the media had a way of controlling it a little bit more without hitting the social media so fast. It was no social media, without hitting the papers. But he was right. I mean, the economy is still doing the same thing. It's a little more diverse. However, it's not really given to people of color. It's given to people of other countries, but not people of color. Maybe should have, the way they nominated the Razzies and they said worst actor, worst actress because he played different characters, then he should have been nominated, Nutty Professor, for all the different characters he made. And same thing with Coming to America. He should have been got an Oscar. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of racism in Hollywood. You already know. We already know what the situation is. It's not a secret. We know what it is. There's a lot of great actors and actresses of color that killed it in films, and a lot of great films and great directors, male and female alike, of color who does not get the nod or acknowledgement in Hollywood. We know that. I know that. You know that. Everyone knows that. It's no secret. It's not like, oh, clutch your pearls. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? It's known. At the end of the day, the Norbit situation, and I remember this vividly. I think I didn't like the movie Norbit. Number one, I didn't find it. I didn't like it at all. There's a couple of Eddie Murphy movie films that I ain't a big fan of, like Meet Dave, Norbit, Vampire in Brooklyn. There's a lot. There's more that I like than less than I don't like. You understand what I'm saying? There's a few more. But I think personally, they use Norbit as an excuse not to give it to him, even though he's well deserved. He played his part very well. He earned it. And normally, 9 times out of 10, when you win like the Golden Globe, they always say that's the prerequisite for you to win an Oscar. And even though he dropped a crappy movie, it has nothing to do with his performance in Dreamgirl. It doesn't. But I can see Hollywood find a loophole on not giving it to him. Yeah, that sounds kind of conspiracy theory and Kyle, what are you talking about and all that shit. But I buy that. I believe that. I really do believe that. I think, they like the criticism they wrote, like, how could you hand an Oscar to somebody who made this? Well, he didn't make, but it's two different movies. Two separate movies. You're nominating him for his performance in Dreamgirl, not in Norbit. So I think that was just an excuse not to give it to him, in my opinion. If it has something to do with the 88 speech, you never know. If it has something to do with skin color, you never know. I think more so skin than more so 88 speech, in my opinion. That's how Hollywood is built. It's just entertainment all the way around. We came a long way, but we still got ways to go. You dig what I'm saying? So, he should actually, along with Denzel and a few other male or female of color, should be racking up Oscars like championship rings. But that's just the situation. But I do think they use Norbert as an excuse, in my opinion, that for him not to win it in '07. And Norbert wasn't a good movie. I could separate the two. You know what I'm saying? I just not don't find it funny. Some people do, and comedy is subjective. You know what I mean? I can't sit through Norbert. I just don't find it funny at all. I can't. Vampire in Brooklyn. Only part I like is Preacher Paulie. That's it. Otherwise than that, the movie is not good. Preacher Paulie dope as shit. Like, Preacher Paulie, ass is good and evil good. Gets a piece of evil ass. Woo! Come on. Come on. So but I think like I said, I think they cheated him out of that. And hopefully one day he gets it while he's here and not get like an honorary Oscar, which I think is bullshit. And hopefully he should have got something for My Name is Dolomite. It's a lot of things, dude. But that's just fix the camera, y'all. That's just in my lighting. Sorry, that's Hollywood for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens. But check out the documentary on Netflix. It's dope. Murphy should have a few. Oh man, should have a few Oscars just for his performance alone and multiple characters he played in a lot of these movies. And it goes in depth about, and it go deep enough about the Night Professor and the different characters. Man, like, and they left a lot of meat on the bone with that documentary. It should have been longer, and I'm sure it probably was. And it probably some left on the cutting room floor. But man, oh man, like it's too light. It was too lightweight. It should have been more deeper and longer. You know what I mean? On certain things. Like I had so many movies I wanted to ask about and find out about, and where he was, where his head was at by choosing certain films. And man, there's a lot of meat left on the bone on that one. But check it out if you haven't. Check it out. Being Eddie on Netflix. All right, moving is on. Let me see what I have. Got a lot to do. Got a lot to say. Hey, I got a plethora. Okay, I'll go with this one. Ryan Coogler confirms Black Panther 3 is his next movie. After ridding the Mississippi Delta of vampires and sinners, love that movie, and a few Klansmen with sinners, Ryan Coogler is ready to get back to Wakanda. While speaking on stage yesterday, I'm recording on Sunday, during Sinners panel in Los Angeles, the two-time Oscar nominee confirmed to Deadline, this is the article, Mike Fleming Jr., that Black Panther 3 is, quote, his next movie as he is hard at work completing the MCU trilogy that kicked off with Chadwick Boseman in 2018. If it was anybody but you, I would say I can neither confirm or deny, teased Coogler, but we're working on it hard. Yeah, it's the next movie. In November 2024, Denzel Washington let it slip that he is being considered for a role in the third installment of Black Panther. During an interview in Australia promoting Gladiator 2, he said that Coogler was writing a part for me, which the director has since confirmed. Boseman first played the role of T'Challa, appearing in 2016's Captain America Civil War, followed by Black Panther film feature in 2018. The actors reprised the superhero role in 2018's Avengers Infinity War, 2019's Avengers Endgame. After Boseman died of colon cancer in August of 2020, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was released in 2022 and dedicated to his memory. The film picked up following the death of T'Challa, with Letitia Wright's Shuri taking over the heroic title. I'm looking forward to it. I heard there possibly have Damson Idris in mind for being the new Black Panther. I think will be perfect. Wakanda Forever was hard to watch for many reasons. One, just like Chadwick Boseman left us way too soon. Way too soon. Fucking cancer, dude. and it would just kind of, if it's like kind of hard, like damn, he's not here, young cat, and making a sequel without your star to me is difficult. And it was a solid movie, wasn't that good because it was just like a great meal missing something, and that's what it was. It tastes good, but it's missing an ingredient, and that main ingredient is no longer with us. Um, so with 3 coming out, I did hear Denzel was supposed to be part of it. I heard Damson Idris supposed to be possibly crowned the new Black Panther, which I think would be dope. And we'll see what happens. And again, it's hard to continue a franchise when your franchise is no longer with us in the form of Chadwick Boseman. And this at times, dude, if I was seeing Black Panther movie on Endgame or Infinity War, or Civil War, it's hard to watch. Which means I never knew him personally, but he's around my age and cancer took him out, and it's just like, man, like what could have been? You know what I mean? Like, dang, he just like breaking through to the other side, and what just could have been. So I'm looking forward to it. I think 3 might come out probably in 27 or 28. Excuse me. I'm sorry for yawning. I know they still putting it together, so it's 26. So I would say probably in 28 it may come out. I wouldn't be surprised if it come out in 2028. But I heard Damson Idris from, recently F1 with Brad Pitt, and of course we all know oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Mike is laughing at me right now. Snowfall. I just drew a blank. But I think that'd be kind of cool to see that happen. So we'll see. That's his next film. If you haven't seen Sinners, go check out Sinners. Sinners is dope. Sinners does not need a sequel, even though there's talks of them trying to make a sequel. Certain movies, regardless of it makes a lot of money, should not be made a sequel. Just leave it as is, perfectly wrapped in a nice little package with a bow in it, and just let it go. You don't need to make a sequel. You can't. Sometimes certain things it just leave it alone. It's perfect. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see. Coming soon, man. Part 3, Denzel, and possibly Damson Idris. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Moving on. I got a lot of good shit here. Let's start with Idris Elba, because I was talking about Damson Idris. Idris Elba returning for a new Luther movie at Netflix. I love me some Luther, dude. That joint is dope. All right, let me read before I get all excited and forget what I'm reading about. Idris Elba is returning for a new Luther feature from Netflix that continues the gritty adventures of the detective hero created by Neil Cross and first aired as a BBC series. Ruth Wilson, who co-starred in the series but did not appear in the previous standalone movie, 2023's Luther, The Fallen Son, is back for this new outing, rectifying an injustice amongst Lutherites. Dermot Crowley, another Luther fixture, will also be in the new thriller that is being directed by Jamie Payne, a member of the Luther family who helmed episodes of the series as well as Fallen Son. Written by Cross, the new story sees a new wave of brutal, seemingly random murders hit London, with Luther secretly called back into service. But the dramatic question is now, how can Luther save London when everyone on all sides seems to want him dead? Or they had a question mark. Seems to want him dead? They had a question mark. Seems to want him dead? Okay. Quote, Neil has yet again created a wonderfully dark tale to bring us all back together, said Payne in a statement. It's a true joy to be back in the streets of Lutherland with the supreme talents that are Idris Elba and Dermot Crowley. I am also thrilled to be reunited with the brilliant and dangerous Alice Morgan, played by the extraordinary talent Ruth Wilson. Luther, which ran over 5 contracted and intermittent seasons in the 2010s, centered on a brooding, obsessive detective named John Luther, played by Idris Elba. Wilson played Alice Morgan, a psychopathic, murdering research doctor who went toe-to-toe with Luther in the first season, only to evolve into a codependent relationship. She co-starred in 3 of the show's 5 seasons. Carly's reprising the role of Shank, a police superintendent who at first was Luther's office antagonist, but because a key ally in the police, became, a key ally in the police force. Luther, Alice, and Shank are more than characters to me. Their families stayed across. I never stopped wondering where they are, what's become of them, and what horrors might be stirring in the shadows of London while Luther's not around. Okay. So we decided to get together and find out what happens next. Producing a new feature are Sherman Entertainment along with Cross, as well as Elba and Gina Carter via the 22 Summers banner and Tim Lewis. Shooting will commence in February 2026. Woo! I love Luther, dude. If y'all not familiar with Luther, go watch that joint. Like, just have all season on Netflix. Maybe on Hulu too. Also, it is dark. It's gritty. It's slow pace. There's not a lot of like action. Like, it's more like of a cerebral type, like a detective suspense type series, and it's only like 4 to 5 episodes per season, so you can knock them out quick. It's not like 10, 8, or whatever. Like usually, like European shows, they don't do long seasons. They do maybe 3 to 5 episodes per season. So you can knock that out. And the Jones are good. Check out Fallen Sun was dope. Idris Elba is one of my favorite actors of all time. And Luther is just it's definitely a step. I think this is one of the first major roles he did outside after he did The Wire. And getting back to his roots of London, and it just shows that he's brooding, he's depressed, he's just, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a very personable person. He's obsessed with his job, and it's just a lot going on with him. He's extremely smart. And if they say, well, Batman is the world's greatest detective, I'll say in the fictional world, I'll say Luther outsmarts him, because Luther, I think, is the best fictional detective in the world. And it gets a little, it gets a little, sadistic, crazy, blood curling. It's good. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Luther John popping up. They said they start shooting in February, so hopefully, and later on in 26 or early 27, it should appear on Netflix. But definitely, if y'all not familiar, I might even go back and start watching Luther from the beginning. But like I said, it's a slow, methodic, very slow pace type of show. So you got to have patience with it. You got to pay attention. It's not a lot of like shoot 'em up, bang bang action. So there's a lot of, you just got to pay attention. It do have a lot of like gruesome parts in there, and some action, but it's more like this thinking and listening and watching and so forth. But it's good. It's done well. Ruth Wilson and Idris Elba have great chemistry together on the screen. But check out Luther, man. I give it, like, you ain't too familiar with Luther, go check it out. And if you are familiar with Luther, and my Luther Knights, we unite with the Luther Knights. Can't wait till late 26, early 27 when it appears on Netflix. Hey, man, I might go revisit Fallen Sun and even the series somewhere on either Netflix or Hulu or something. I'm going to revisit that joint. Looking forward to it. All right, moving on. What else we got? I got a lot. What else I got? Okay. All right, I got some sad news here. I got to bring the show down a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite shows has been canceled. Poker Face canceled at Peacock. However, Ryan Johnson Shop's new version with Peter Dinklage taking over for Natasha Lyonne as Charlie Cale. fine ass Natasha Lyonne, her red hair. Poker Face has been canceled at Peacock after 2 seasons, but Ryan Johnson and Natasha Lyonne are trying to keep the bullshit detective Charlie Cale alive. Sources tells this article Johnson and producer MRC are shopping around a new iteration of Poker Face with Peter Dinklage taking over for Leone for the lead role. They are seeking a 2-season order from a different distributor. I said distributor. I said it right? Okay. And he envisions a new actor rotating in for the lead role every 2 seasons. Interesting. Leone would stay on the series as an executive producer, while Johnson would remain a writer and director. It's unclear who would serve as showrunner. Nora Zuckerman and Lila Zuckerman led the show in its first season, and Tony Tost, took over for season 2. Johnson and Leone said in a statement, "We've been germinating the next move together since writing the season 2 finale. We love our poker face, and this is the perfect way to keep it rolling. Give us a beat, and we may just see Charlie Cale again down that open highway." Poker Face debuted in 2021, inspired by a Mystery of the Week series like Columbo. It followed Leone's nomadic sleuth Charlie Cale, who has a special ability to detect lies. The show featured dozens of guest stars, from John Mulaney, my boy, playing a dirty FBI agent, to Cynthia Erivo playing Sextuplix, a great episode also. The series scored 6 Emmy nominations across its 2 seasons, winning 1 for Judith Light's guest role. The series is produced by MRC and T Street. Dinklage is a 4-time Emmy winner, best known for playing Tyrion Lannister on Game of Thrones. He recently starred in Channing Tatum's led dramedy Roofman, which I want to see, and voices Dr. Dillamon in the Wicked movies. And he appeared on the show Lowdown. I'm sad but happy at the same time. Poker Face is dope as fuck. The writing is cool, is great. Tasha Leone is sexy as hell in this, smart. Got a little Columbo vibe, got a little raspy voice. So I definitely want to see Peter Dinklage, who I'm a fan of, also come in and kind of do a little spin on it. And hopefully they do find a home. But if you not too familiar with Poker Face, go on Peacock and watch the first 2 seasons. You'll love it. It's great. It's innovative. I'm sad to see it go, but hopefully it will be back in this new form as they talked about, with Peter Dinklage coming in. And I think and it's kind of cool and it's different to have, to refreshing it every 2 years with a new actor, a lead actor. That's kind of cool. And maybe, Charlie Cale will come back as African American woman or African American male. Like it just, so many ways you can do this and play out the box and have fun because it's entertainment. You know what I mean? So hopefully they find a new home for it. I would love, no disrespect, it's been a long week. I would love to see the new version of this with Peter Dinklage and just to see where it goes. And but it's like, it's bittersweet because I love Poker Face. I love the show. The show was awesome. The writing is just mwah. Directing is it's just out of the box. It's weird, quirky. But yeah, man, we'll see. Poker Faces, Poker Faceites. It's not a word. I just made it up. I'll trademark it right now. Hang on. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. It'll land on a platform somewhere in a new version, in a prettier package. And I'm all for it. We shall see. All right, let's move on. Let us move on. I can't move on because I can't find my mouse. Wait a minute. My mouse got stuck. Wait, here we go. All right. Live broadcasting. What else I have? Okay. Morgan Freeman says his lawyers are very busy cracking down on unauthorized use of his voice. I'm like any other actor. Don't mimic me with falseness. The now you see me, now you don't actor ads. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, this website won't let me pull it up because they want me to subscribe, and I'm like, I just want to read, folks. I don't want a weekly subscription. I just want to read. Okay. Well, screw that. I'm not going to subscribe just to read one goddamn article. But what I will say is this. I've been, in general, not just this or anything else, there has been a lot of situations going on with actors that are not a big fan of AI using their likeness or their voices in certain situations without their permission. And I think the issue is they don't mind unless you get permission, and of course you pay that Skrilla. You know what I mean? You pay that cash. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. Get the money $1 bill, y'all. You know. Let me stop for YouTube. Red flag me for copyright infringement for repeating the lyric. But this so I can't get an article, and I do apologize. It blocked it out because like you should subscribe to read this and whatever. But it's true. It's been going on for a while that a lot of actors and actresses are complaining that you hear voiceovers in commercials or TV shows or something, and it's not really that actor or actress. It's AI generated. And again, I think a lot of them wouldn't mind as much if you ask for permission and you pay and you pay for it. You know, because that's their voice. That's their voice, and they should get paid if you're going to use it. That's their, that's their IP. You know what I mean? So um, there's a lot of that going on, and he's not the first and only actor that's really trying to crack down on it because it's only fair. Same thing in music. If you're going to use it in music, you're going to have to pay the artist. So you're going to use the someone's voice. They are the artist. Um, they use their voice and their looks to make a living. So it's only right to pay them a nice sum, to use their likeness or their soundness. I see why not, but it's going to increase more and more when AI is using people likeness and voices without permission. So I can see that happening, and he has a very distinctive voice. There's like two people right now that are alive. It was James Earl Jones, but he passed away. There's two people right now I would love using narrations: Morgan Freeman and Keith David. They both got great voices, and I would have them just be a narrator or voiceover for shit for me in real life and in fictional. Like Kyle went to get a glass of water. To his dismay, the water was warm. Now, that's nobody voice in particular. I thought it'd be my Morgan Freeman one, but I don't want to get his lawyer on me and get shut down by YouTube or anybody for generating an AI voice. So, but I think they got great distinct. I would love for them like to read and narrate something for me. So, like Dave Chappelle did with Morgan Freeman. So that'd be cool. But a lot of that is happening. A lot of that is happening. A lot of celebrities are shutting that down. Quick, fast, in a hurry. All right, let me see. I know some other articles that will work. I'm pulling it up. I'm waiting for this to open up. Jay-Z's alleged son's godmother officially files to reopen paternity suit. It won't. It just this won't end. Given that Lily Coley's legal action against Jay-Z was recently dismissed with prejudice, we will see if this motion leads to consequences. Jay-Z has long denied accusations from Raimir Satterthwaite that he's his secret son, even resulting in a recent court dismissal. His godmother and legal guardian, Lily Coley, recently got a lawsuit dismissed over her pursuits, which came shortly after Satterthwaite dropped his own legal moves. However, they are by no means done with these allegations. Coley filed a notice to appeal earlier this month, claiming that this dismissed was inaccurate and insufficiently justified, according to an exclusive report. Coley filed a motion in California to revive the lawsuit on Friday, November 14th. This was 2 days ago, which accuses Hove of dodging DNA tests and manipulating New Jersey's legal system to block further action. Still, since the previous court dismissal was with prejudice, I get it out. This means sanctions and other punitive stipulations could affect Lily Coley's attempted lawsuit revival. We will see how the California appellate court responds to the latest filing, which makes some key legal claims. First of all, Coley's original suit in California accused the Rock Nation mogul of filing false documents that damaged her reputation and limited her freedom of speech. But his legal team invoked California's anti-SLAPP statute while asking the court to dismiss it. The anti-SLAPP statute aims to quickly quell lawsuit with power imbalances that seek to silence public opinion. The court reportedly dismissed Ramirez Saddlewade's godmother's lawsuit under the statute although it's unclear if it's because the filing could prove likely success early or if the lawsuit against Jay was considered an impeded on free speech. Nevertheless, Lily Coley argued against this decision by claiming the dismissal did not properly apply the anti-SLAPP statute to filing from a New Jersey paternity case they also pursued. She claimed that New Jersey courts admitted they lack subject matter jurisdiction of properly rule on the paternity matter. Still, the judge in the case argued earlier this month that Coley's updated filings didn't address the anti-SLAPP legal fees, thus leading to dismissal. Jay-Z is a very busy man, so we'll see if he and his legal team respond to these developments with dismissals and appeals in mind. It's possible that these debacles will begin to solve themselves. Well, like I said last week or whatever, it's going to continue. It's not over. It's far from done. They want their pound of flesh. They believe that this gentleman is his son. And who knows, maybe he is. I don't know. But this is far from over. I don't think they're not going to go quietly. They're not going to go quietly in that good night. They're going to fight and prove that this gentleman is his son. So we'll see, man. It's I don't know what to say anymore about it, but like I said last week, I'm like, this is far from over. They're not just going to end it and walk away. I apologize, y'all. Sorry about that. I just, like I said, it's not over with, and maybe they know something we don't know. And he's denied paternity test, and I mean, you can swing the bat either way. Him denied may show guilty. Some may say, well, if he knows he's not, he don't have to. It swings, depending on the swings either way. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to, how will this end? What is the end game to all this? Because they're not stopping. Because they really believe that this gentleman is something it could be. Who knows? Who knows? So we just gotta wait and see and find out the development on how this will end. Because it's not going to end anytime soon. They could try to, but Lily Coley and her godson Ramirez Saddlewade seem very determined to prove a point. Like, yo, this man is my pops, and he's been denying and lying and so forth. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. How this is going to end, and if it ends, will it go away? How will it end? Is the main thing. You know what I mean? Let's move on. Where's my mouse? Press it. Okay. Oh, mouse acting weird. Okay. And okay, I'm looking. You see me on camera. I'm like, I have my mouse here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Let's do Cardi B. Cardi B just I had her fourth child with Stefan Diggs this week. That's not what the article about, but she finally had her baby. I think it's a son, her fourth, but her first with Stefan Diggs, football player from that plays in New England. This article is Cardi B makes it snow with Jeezy for hard hitting Time remix. Time to make the club fun again. It's a good picture of her. Damn. Sorry. Cardi B said it was time to make the club fun again, and she delivered on her promise while teaming up with Jeezy for another Time remix this past Wednesday, November 12th. The thumping remix arrived packaged as part of Carly's Am I the Drama, the Snow Mix edition, which also features Lotto's remix of Time and the third version of the remix that features both Atlanta staples. Jeezy comes out of the gate, firing from the hip while turning back the clock for a vintage fire reverse. The trap pioneer sounds right at home, and it feels like a throwback of 2000 era when a remix felt more substantial and present in hip hop culture, often giving tracks a second life. Jeezy refers to himself as the Black Brad Pitt and reveals that his show booking price goes for 10 bricks these days. Get your calculator out. Jesus Lord. Anywho, Big Snow also calls out the YNS for not rocking with the Gangsta Grill's Still Snowing mixtape with the DJ Drama, which arrived in September. The YNs, YNS, I should say YNs. The YNs ain't rocking with Still Snowing, and that's fine, he rapped. Time landed on Cardi's Am I the Drama in September, and Lotto's hopped on a remix just days after the project arrival. Time peaked at number 43 on the Billboard Hot 100. The DJ, these names, Swan Q, I don't fucking know these names, produced track, the DJ Swan Q produced track came in at number 5 on our top Atlanta strip club song chart for the month of October. Perhaps Time could receive a boost in ATLs for November with Jeezy, who's no stranger to making it rain at Magic City, fueling another remix. I gotta hear Time. I'm not a big Cardi B fan and Lotto fan. I like Jeezy. I like Jeezy early stuff. So I'll give him his balloons on that. But hey, if you like remixes and you like Time with Lotto and you like Time remix with Cardi B and Jeezy, go check out Time on Spotify and off of Am I the Drama. So check it out Time. So should be cool. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just reading for those who are a fan of Cardi B and Time remix. Got it? Good. Let's move on. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Appeals court confirms conviction for rapper Tory Lanez. As I used to call him LANEZ until my best friend Mike like, oh, I think his name is Lanez. It's not LANEZ. That's my impersonation of Mike. It's not. I'm just busting his chops. A state appeals court panel Wednesday upheld rapper Tory Lanez's conviction for shooting hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion in the feet during a 2020 dispute in the Hollywood Hills. Lanez, now 33, was found guilty in December 2022 of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm that goes with gross negligence. Lane's real name is Daystar Peterson. Was sentenced in August 2023 to 10 years in state prison. In a 46-page ruling, the three-justice panel from California's Second District Court of Appeals rejected the defense contention that there were errors in Lane's trial. The justices noted that the testimony was more than insufficient to support the jury's finding that Peterson personally inflicted great bodily injury on Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Peyton Peterson. During the trial, Megan Thee Stallion testified that Lane shot her during a July 12, 2020 argument following a get together at Kylie Jenner's home. She said that she had no doubt that Lane fired shots and that he later offered her $1 million not to say anything. According to the singer, Lane told her to dance, bitch. Then shot her in the feet. During the sentencing hearing, Deputy District Attorney Alexander Bott, said Lane shot Megan Thee Stallion because she bruised his ego. Let me stop there for a second. The date is July 12th, 2020. Weren't we enthralled in COVID at that time? Why the fuck are you at a gathering when we're like wrapped up in the culture and the rapture of COVID? Because COVID came out like in late March. This is July 2020. Why are y'all out there? Probably had no mask on. None of that stuff. He probably COVID got to his mind and drove him crazy and he shot at your feet and said, "Damn, bitch, COVID on my mind." I don't know. Anyway, I will continue. Don't get mad. The shooting was because of the argument in the car, the prosecutor said, calling it an act of misogyny against her. One of Lane's attorneys, Jose Baez, called the argument nuts. He said there was no denying that alcohol was involved along with COVID. We're talking about foolish, reckless behavior that could have been much worse. The intent was not to take someone's life, Baez said of the shooting. Baez said the defendant adamantly was highly intoxicated the night of the shooting and didn't even remember afterwards what the topic of the argument was. Last year, Megan Thee Stallion filed a request for a restraining order against Lane's, claiming he was orchestrating a harassment campaign against her from behind bars, conspiring with bloggers who post what she claims are defamatory statements about her on social media, questioning the veracity of the claims against Peterson and the evidence that was presented at the criminal trial. Well, I mean, this is not going to go away for a minute, because he's fighting to try to get out and cut his sentence short, which makes sense. You don't want to do the full 10 years, but it's a crazy story. Nevertheless, it doesn't make any sense. You wasn't alcohol infused that you don't remember. You know, he said he don't remember what the argument was about. It's not about what the argument is about. The fact that you had a gun on you shooting at somebody. Instead of saying, I don't remember having a gun. I don't remember pulling it. That would have made more sense to me. Like, I don't remember what the argument was about. But what you're saying to me, you do remember pulling the gun out and tell her to do the bullet two-step. Dance, scoundrel, dance. Which is fucked up, which is crazy. I don't get that. I didn't get it then, I don't get it now. If you mad at her, just don't talk to her. Drop her off and keep it moving. Now you in prison fighting for your anal rights. Trying to get out is too late. You popping licking shots like you're a gangster. You ain't no gangster. Damon, whatever your name is, Daystar. You from Canada. Probably a nice family on top of that. Taking on the alias of Tory Lanez, or as I used to call you, LANEZ, until I was corrected. Look where it got you. Was it worth it? Excuse me. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see if I think he won't do the full 10. I think he'll get out before he does the 10. I think he'll probably do maybe between 6 to 8 years total. That's my opinion. I don't think he'll do the full 10. I'll be shocked if he does. I think he'll probably do maybe 6 to 8, give or take, and then they'll release him. But it's the whole thing is stupid. It doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do that anyway? Why would you? Was it worth it? What was your end game pulling that gun out and firing at her feet? That doesn't make sense, man. Don't give me that whole alcohol shit, dude. I don't even want to hear that. You know what you was doing. You know exactly what you were doing. So I'm not buying intoxication. You just did it and you just lapse of judgment. Thinking you cool, thinking you're a gangster, think whatever. And if it backfired on you in the worst way. You know what I mean? So last but not least, Drake likes post criticizing Pusha T for an age gap with his wife. Drake shades come amid backlash for Pusha T for neglecting his daddy duties while celebrating his wife Virginia Williams' second pregnancy. Drake and Pusha T's beef go all the way back to Birdman allegedly not paying the Neptunes for the what happened to that boy beat in '02. Decades later, though, their feud revolves more around their 2018 battle and its ensuing narratives. Fatherhood was the main one at play here. Now it got an interesting update. For those unaware, the Clips MC wife Virginia Williams recently announced the couple expecting their second child. However, things quickly became controversial thanks to Pusha T neglecting daddy duties in his announcement. At Baby Jenny, thank you for my second baby boy, he wrote. I hope you carry on with tradition and never teach me how to change a diaper, prep a meal, suck out a snotty nose, or anything else a super mom does. You make things very easy for me, and I love and appreciate you all. I appreciate you for it all. See you spring 2026, my boy. This resulted in a lot of fan backlash, according to uh, Curco. I don't know Curco. Drizzy even liked an Instagram post from Keep Solid that featured a tweet criticizing Push's age gap wife with his wife. I'm sorry, this man was 29, she was 18 when they got together, the post alleged. I won't even address the bullshit he posted, but the age difference is yikes. Pusha is currently 48 years old, whereas his wife Virginia Williams reportedly 38. They met a Hell Hath No Fury release party in '06 when he was 29 and she was 19. They dated for 11 years, tied the knot in 2018, and welcomed their first son Nigel into the world of June of 2020. June of 2020, so like 5 years old. Of course, the big angle around the Instagram is Drake's past proximity to minors and heavy allegations, which was a huge narrative in the Kendrick Lamar battle. Speaking of which, his appeal over the UMG lawsuit dismissal continues, seeking retribution for the alleged defamatory practices tied to the Not Like Us diss track. We're sure fans will be debating for a long time, for better or for worse. This is all very personal business, but this conflicts did appear on wax from both MCs. Okay, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. It's not like he was 29, she was 19, so she's of age. It wasn't like she was 11 or 14. And what's the big deal of dating a younger woman or an older woman dating a younger man? As long as you of age and you like each other, you get along, it's nobody's business at all. What I will say is this: you have to be careful when you put stuff on social media, your comments and everything, whether you're a civilian or celebrity alike, because you're opening yourself up for criticism and comments that is not really warranted at the end of the day. People, you open yourself up for just this shit is not necessary. And you can take the comment he said about not changing the diapers, all his tongue in cheek and all that stuff. You can take it serious. Only he knows. And who cares? That's their life. That's their business. They got to set up that way. They got to set up that way. What is it to you to make a comment about it? And if Drake likes it and Drake want to poke fun, then that's was Drake. Let Drake do that. If Drake want that smoke, let him have that smoke. But it incenses me that people like to just comment. Let me back up. It incenses me that people, I don't know, it does. They open themselves up for comments that, how can I say it? You have the right to post what you want to post. You have the right to say what you want to say. Either way, whether you're making a comment or making a statement about something, or you're commenting on what that person has said. You have the right either way. However, what incenses me is that sometimes saying the personal stuff publicly, and that leaves you open for fodder. It leaves you open for those to come at you, and it kind of just exposes you, so to speak, if I'm making any sense. And I don't understand that. I see people, civilians and celebrities alike, that put personal stuff up on social media every day, and then people get a comment or say a comment, you get offended. If not publicly, then privately. Because that's what you're doing. You open yourself up for comment when you put it out there like that. And to each his own. If you don't care, you don't care. That's fine. Who cares about the age gap? As long as they have a nice, healthy child, a baby boy, looks like it's going to happen. That's all that matters. How they raise it and what agreement they came to on raising it is between Pusha and his wife. That's their business. If you don't want to change diapers or whatever, and she says it's okay, that's their business. Why should there be a backlash off of what he said? That if they got that arrangement set up, then that's their business. Let them live their life. They ain't harming you. What do you care? Who cares? Like, I don't care. Why would you care? You know what I mean? A lot of people just need to mind their business overall. You see a post, read it, keep it moving, and mind your business. Stop commenting on people you don't know. Just let it go. Even if you do know them, mind your fucking business and keep it moving. Can you do that? Can you try? Somebody? Anybody? Just try it. You might feel a lot better about yourself. Just saying. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is it for this episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. Appreciate you taking the time out downloading this week's episode and hearing me talk and all that good stuff for an hour and some change. And remember, I'm back up, Lord willing, next week for another episode in the final season of NYPA Entertainment Radio. Press the subscribe button right now on YouTube to get updates, notifications for not this show, but the new show coming in 2026. Check it out on Spotify, audio and video version, and more platforms to come. And some more surprises when a new show appears right here on the platform of Riverside.fm. So as I always say each week, keep your head up, stay focused, believe whatever high power you believe in. Take it day by day. Don't let the bullshit get to you. I know these are saying hard to do, but just hang in there. It'll work itself out. You'll get through it more soon than you think. So with that being said, Lord willing, I'll see you next week for another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio, the final season. Show's over, can't play the song, but I'll see you next week. Later.